Welcome back to the Nene Hooks Network. We are live here on the red carpet at the Imagination Conference, brought to you by Dr. Chyna Bethley, the founder of Rich University. So I'm excited for you all to see what we have in store today. They are dropping gems on this carpet, okay? You're going to see panelists, speakers, honorees, people who are believe in what this conference can bring. It says where icons are born, and I truly believe that. So stay tuned. Everything is going great. Everything's running smooth. Hey, look, Dr. Chyna Bethley, she even expressed to me that this only took her 5 weeks to put together. Now, for her, that didn't sound like a short amount of time, but for me, I'm like, 5 weeks? This looks like years worth of planning. It's so beautiful. Everything is going so well. So I'm excited for you all to get some gems, get some information, learn you a little something. The Nene Hooks Network is always going to bring you the best, always in business, inspiration, and we have the winery. Is that not on brand? Don't we love that? We love that at the Nene Hooks Network. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss what we have coming up next. So I'm standing here with the founder of Rich University and the Imagination Conference, Dr. Chyna Bethley. Talk about how you're feeling today.
I am feeling absolutely blessed. I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling rich. We at Chateau Elan.
Yes.
People's lives are being transformed, and it's amazing. Thank you for asking.
Yes, so many lives are being transformed by Rich University as a whole.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk about what inspired you to start this movement to help people elevate their lives and their financial future?
You know, I'm from New Orleans, and honestly, the idea of being rich was not something that a lot of people entertain. And God gave me the vision for Rich University in 2012. And now people walk around with the word rich on their chest, on their hats, and they now are open to the possibilities of them being rich, not just financially, but in all areas of their life, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And it's a movement that helps us to focus primarily on women of color and minorities to elevate economically, but based on kingdom principles. You can get the bag, but let's do it in a way that will not cause you to have to sacrifice your morals or your character or respect.
So, and I love that. So the conference today is based on Genesis 1 and 26.
Yes.
Can you kind of talk about what that means for the conference as a whole?
It means everything, because you get so much of your identity from Genesis, right? The Creator created us in His image and in His likeness, and then He gave us the power to have dominion. That means to rule, to reign. That means to dominate. And so there's so much about this conference that's going to allow people to have transformation, to go into their industries and dominate as believers. Listen, we're supposed to be rich as daughters and sons of the Most High God. So there is no lack with God. There's no sickness with Him. There's none of those things. And so when you know who you are in and through Him and what He created you to do, you have so much more clarity, so much more confidence, and so much more courage on your journey. So that's what imagination is really all about.
Perfect. And talk about what it looks like for you to make your imagination your reality. What tools and strategies are you using?
That is so good. So I've lived out of my imagination. I always have since a little girl. Born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. Nobody had the things or the stuff that I saw on television, so I would inspire based on what I saw on television. And then shortly thereafter, I noticed that the things that I was inspiring to have became a reality. And so I learned very early, nobody could tell me how to think or what to think. They don't know what I'm thinking. And my imagination is so vivid and it's so wild that I learned that those things started to come to pass. So I live out of my imagination and not in my reality. And I encourage you to do the same thing.
Love that. Make sure you all following Dr. Chyna
Make sure you
Bethley,
follow
because there's
me.
always more that you can learn from her. If you're not here, too bad. But honestly, we have so much in store for today. So I'm excited. What are you hoping that the attendees get from today's event?
I hope that they have transformation. I hope that they leave away from here with clarity. I hope they walk into their identity and have a closer relationship with our Father.
Yeah. All right. And so then hopefully y'all will come to the next one, because you're going to learn what you're missing today. So stay tuned. We got more coming up on the Nene Hooks Network.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm standing here with lovepreneurs, Diane and Demetrius. Talk about how you all are feeling being here today.
Feeling amazing. It's great energy, great vibes. It's just nice to be in a room full of great people that have different strengths at different things. This is super important to be intentional about when you come to Imagination Conference, all the things that you can imagine, but also being intentional about what you want to get out of it. And so it's just great to share some information with some great people.
Yeah, to have a little faith in the mix. That's always nice too.
Yes, and I love that you mentioned, making sure you know what you want to get out of it. Can you talk about what you hope attendees and people in the audience are getting from the conference?
It's so key to make sure that when you're coming to a conference that you're intentional about what you want to get out of it, but also what you can give. And so for anyone listening to us, if you can take one nugget that we talk about that may impact the trajectory of your future with your relationship, with your business, that's our main thing. We make sure that we give great bullet points and things that you can actually live out. Not just talk about us and how great life has been for us, but giving you principles that you can apply to your situation. And that's always what our goal is.
Absolutely. Yes, agreed. I think you said it great.
I love that. And I know that you all just spoke on the relationship panel. How important is community and collaboration when it comes to building a more successful future and a financial future as well?
Yeah, I think too often we feel like we don't really need anyone else. We just need God on our side. But God created people, community, so that we can uplift each other. And I think it's very important. My husband, during the panel, actually mentioned how important it is to have a solid community at home before you try to build an amazing community outside of your house. And I think you definitely hit it hard on that. And that's very important because we're too busy trying to impress other people, the socials, the friends, all the social media. But unfortunately don't give that much effort in your own home. And it's really the way it starts there. So the relationship at home and building out so that you can build together as a unit in and outside.
So if you could share one piece of advice that you've learned on your entrepreneurial journey, and I would love to hear that from just like an individual standpoint, but also as a couple.
So the power of agreement is so important. And the power of agreement works as a couple, but it also works in business. Being able to make sure that you have things listed, you have contracts, you're in agreement with what we're doing, but also understanding what the end goal is. Why are we doing what we're doing? What are we doing this for? What would we like to get out of it? It's super important to be in power of agreement with that. That is a principle that we live by, and that has been very fruitful, understanding how we can support each other and build together by being in agreement for where we're headed and what we're looking to give life and also get out of it.
Yeah, and I think one of my key things is understanding and knowing your role, right? And that flows from identity. Who exactly are you and what do you bring to this dynamic, to a relationship? And that's important because you got to operate on your gifts. I think it starts becoming a clash or a headache, relationships start going nowhere simply because you don't know what you're applying to that relationship. What do I bring? What are my gifts? What are my goals here?
Yeah.
And how do we become in agreement with those gifts so that we can continue to grow in our minds, in our business, and in our relationship?
Yes. Now, my last question, and I'm asking everybody that comes on the carpet, what tools, resources, or strategies are you all using to ensure that your imagination is your reality?
I love that. I'm gonna go with this one first, if you don't mind. Okay. So there's this video surfacing and it's amazing, but I've heard him say it before. Will Smith, and Will Smith is talking about how he's a chess player, and Jada was able to gift him a session with a chess master, right? So in that, he was teaching Will, when you're looking at your chessboard, I want you to imagine all the pieces on your chessboard for the win, right? So where would you put your pieces on the board so that you can beat me? And that's what I think of when I think of life. Start from the end goal and then work your way up. Where do I see all the pieces in my life, from my husband to my businesses to my children to my personal relationships? Where do I see the end goal being? What does that look like? And then I make sure that I avoid any distractions, and every decision I make is towards that end goal, what I imagined on that chessboard. And that's what I would advise you guys, whether it's for your personal relationships, with your children, with your partner. What does the chessboard look like for the win? What do you feel like is winning? Imagine that every single day and make your decisions based on that. Avoid any distractions.
That's amazing.
I mean, how do you follow that? I'll just add this.
What you gonna say?
One of my daily mantras is to wake up with an attitude of gratitude. That is the way I start my day. I read a book, and the gentleman in the book was talking about how he does not allow his feet to hit the floor until a teardrop of gratitude hits his face.
Wow.
That's how intentional he is about gratitude, because life is going to happen. Things are going to come up. Regardless of what's going on, start the day with gratitude. You're 10 steps ahead of everybody else. And even the hardships that happen in life have a purpose in your life. You just have to understand why, when, and who you need to help you move forward. But ultimately, an attitude of gratitude.
He tops it every time.
Follow up with there. Thank you so much for coming to talk to me on the carpet today. You all make sure you stay tuned because, oh, wait, I want to make sure they know where to follow you and where to find everything that you all are working on because you're going to be inspired. There's always more from the Lovepreneurs.
Absolutely. So at Lovepreneur on all the socials, even if you just Google us, Lovepreneur will come up. At Diane on social medias, all platforms.
And at Meet the Emperor on Instagram.
I love it. Thank you so much. We have more coming up from the Imagination Conference and Nini Hooks Network. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. So right now I'm standing with Ebony Austin, owner of Nouveau Sports Bar and Grill. How are you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Now, if you haven't had Nouveau, definitely make sure you check it out. First of all, it is a whole vibe. But secondly, can you just kind of talk about how it feels to be here today at an event that is geared toward really helping people elevate their lives and their financial futures?
For sure. I'll always be in full support of that. I think it's needed. I think we need to see it more and more and more. And I think that having this conference actually set the tone. It starts the foundation to show people that inspire to be entrepreneurs and inspire to know how to financially set up generational wealth. I think that it gives them the opportunity to be able to learn and also execute.
I love that. And so what is something that you hope that they gain just from you speaking today on your panel and from the conference as a whole? What is something you hope the attendees gain?
Absolutely. I hope from this panel that in all honesty, they have the mindset to just do it, right? To start. Let this be the starting point of what's getting ready to happen in this next chapter. We have, less than 100 days to finish 2024. So I hope that the mindset is that we're going out of 2024 strong, but we're going into 2025 starting and creating new businesses.
I love that. Now I'm asking all of my red carpet guests, what are some resources, tools, and strategies you're currently using to make your imagination a reality?
Absolutely. So for me, I'm really big. I read a lot. So I'm always reading. I'm always reading on real estate, on how, when the interest rates are dropping, with restaurants, what second-gen spaces look like. So for me, I think it's really educating yourself, taking that idle time that's really not idle time and really educating yourself, sitting down, figuring out how to move forward. What are the next steps? I don't always do like 5-year goals. I do 30-day goals, 60-day goals, 90-day goals, and that ultimately leads me to where I'll be in 5 years. So I think it's just taking that time and making it work for you.
I love that. And let me also ask you, what is one piece of advice that you can give the audience that is watching that you wish somebody had told you when you were starting your entrepreneurial journey?
Absolutely. So for me, I would say, and I live by this even today, I'm really big on how people see me, right, in real time. So for me, I always tell people, I never want to be seen as a token. Using me as an asset is what we both win. So I think putting yourself in a position to be an asset to someone else's life, to be an asset to someone else's company, and then also staying in alignment with God's plan. Those are the things that I go by, and it has always worked for me.
I love that. All right, so y'all make sure that you stay tuned because Ebony Austin's going to be dropping gems during her panel. And, just her being the inspiring person that she is, you do not want to miss it. So stay tuned, and we got more coming up next on the Nini Hooks Network. I'm standing here with Rosina, aka the Biz Lawyer. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How about you today?
Good, good. As a special guest, can you talk about how it feels to be a part of an event that is focused on transforming people's lives and financial futures?
Well, it's amazing to me. Anytime I can come out and support one of my clients, I definitely want to be a part of it. Dr. Chyna Bethley is one of my clients, and she's just amazing. And I actually love what the conference actually stands for. Like, we all start with our vision, and if it's in alignment with God, we want to work to make sure that it comes to pass.
Yes. So you just spoke on the relationships panel. And what are you hoping that the attendees and the audience gets from the things that you talked about as well as the conference as a whole?
Yes, like one of my other amazing clients, Mrs. Lady Finance, she mentioned how it's so very important to first have a relationship with God. And once you have that relationship with God, He will govern all your relationships. And I truly wholeheartedly believe that. And also, I just share with the panel from a legal perspective, just making sure that your relationships in business are in writing so that make the relationships even more richer because people will govern themselves accordingly.
Yes. So I want to make sure I ask all of my guests that come talk to me on the red carpet today, what tools or strategies are you using to ensure that your imagination is your reality?
I actually utilize vision boards, a lot of planners, right? A lot of prayer, right? And just staying in alignment with God, because I once had a plan for myself. I was going to go work and work for a big corporation or work for a big law firm, but God had a bigger vision and a bigger plan for my life. And once I understood what it is, I'm just out here working and serving.
Right, and I love that you said that, because my last question to you is going to be, what piece of advice would you give somebody who is aspiring to take that next step, maybe even try the entrepreneurial journey or be a business leader, that you can share with them?
I would say, if you are going to do entrepreneurship, just understand it is not for the faint at heart. And sometimes there's going to be some downfalls, there's going to be some failures. But my father always told me, quitters never win and winners never quit. So if you're going to win at entrepreneurship, you cannot quit on it.
I love that. All right, thank you so much for coming to talk to me. Make sure y'all follow Rosina at The Biz Lawyer, because it's always more that you can learn from her. And we have so much more coming up from the Imagination Conference, so stay tuned on Nene Hooks Network.
Bye.
Right now, I'm standing here with founder of Sheer Purity, Symphony. How are you feeling?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Good. So as a special guest, talk about how it feels to be a part of an event that is geared toward transforming lives and financial futures.
It feels amazing. It feels like I've learned so much today. I feel like every woman on the panel dropped a gem, and compared to them, I just feel like I just learned so much today. It was amazing.
Yeah. So you just got done talking on the panel, and kind of talk about what you hope that the attendees and the audience gets from your panel and this event as a whole.
I hope that they get the realness of what it is to run a business. Basically, I don't sugarcoat what it is to run a business. I don't sit up here and give you all of the list of things saying like, oh, you gotta do this, and that, when that's really not the truth. It's hard being a business owner, and the real reality is you gotta show up. It's consistency. You just have to.
I love that. So I'm asking all of the red carpet guests, what tools or strategies are you using to ensure that your imagination is your reality?
Consistency. I keep pushing that narrative, because that's really the combination behind it. There's no formula but consistency. A lot of people like to say, oh, you gotta do this, and that, but it's really just consistency. That's the formula. Show up every single day for yourself. I still do it, and I'm 6 figures in, so you gotta do it too.
She's 6 figures in. Y'all make sure y'all catch that part. Well, thank you so much for coming to talk to me.
Thank you.
We have so much more coming up on the Nene Hooks Network here at the Imagination Conference. Tiffany, let them know where they can follow you to ensure.
You can follow me on Instagram at sheer__purity.
Nice. Now, you look great. Don't forget to make sure y'all check out this outfit that Symphony has on. It is from Drasier Official. Love it. Yes, pretty in pink. I love it. All right, stay tuned. We got more coming up from the Nene Hooks Network. So we are back with Mrs. Candace Holyfield Parker. At this point, we friends, because we always at the events together. So
We always see each other.
right. So Candace is the #1 spa queen, as you all know. Can you talk about how it feels to, first of all, be at an event today where you are being honored for the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award?
So this is actually my second Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yay!
You can never get enough recognition, so I'm thankful for any time somebody, I don't do anything for the recognition, so I'm just honored when somebody does recognize me. The panels was amazing, networking, I met so many amazing people, so everything has been phenomenal thus far, and I'm grateful to be here.
I love that. Now, this event is geared toward transforming people's lives and financial futures. Talk about how it feels to be a part of something like that.
So actually they said, y'all, it was faith in finance. So I said, I got to tighten up. If we going to be talking about the Lord all day, let me tighten up. So I love that they said faith in finance. I thought that was so dope. I feel like we don't talk about God enough. We always talk about getting to the bag and making money. So I was honored to be a part of something, where it's focused all around God. So I thought that was dope as well.
Yeah. Now, one thing about you is you talk a lot about some of the losses that you've experienced and things like that. And I know that there was a lot of reimagining that had to happen for you. Can you talk about the tools and strategies and resources that you utilize now to make your imagination your reality?
No, that's super dope. So anybody that's listening to, maybe you quit imagining, maybe you quit dreaming, maybe you gave up. And so for me, I just have to find my fight again. I feel like God came and just swept me up again. I'll never forget, one day I think I had made like $40,000. I'm like, why he didn't do this 9 months ago? You know what I'm saying? He just came and swept me back up and just put me back on the throne and just showed me, hey, you still the girl, it's still your position.
Yeah.
So I think that we do have to stay faithful
and remember who we are and keep on imagining and keep on dreaming so we don't lose sight.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like you're really deserving for being honored today.
Oh, thank you.
Always give people their flowers, so it is always a pleasure when I get to see you get yours. So y'all stay tuned. The Nene Hooks Network has so much more coming up at the Imagination Conference, and make sure y'all follow at Six Figure Spot Chick, because y'all know she always dropping gems, always got some things going on. You can just never get enough of Candid, you know? So stay tuned, Nene Hooks Network.
Thank you.
So I'm standing here with Jackie M. Jackie, talk to us about how it feels to be here, a part of this event that is geared toward transforming lives and financial futures.
You know, I think it's first of all, it's a beautiful thing to even be here. I'm so grateful and so honored that I was asked to be not only a panelist, speak on the panel, but also I'm being honored to receive the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. So that's just like a overwhelming feeling I can't describe, right? But being here at the Imagination Conference, so here's the thing. I came from a financial background and transitioned into entrepreneurship, right? But I didn't go back into the finance space, so to speak, right? I went into, God led me into a creative space.
Nice.
So I am a creator, in addition to having the financial background, right? Which is why I can run my business for 13 years.
I love
right?
it.
So I am a handbag designer. We also have interactive handbag workshops where women come and custom make their own leather clutch.
Nice.
So it's just an amazing feeling just to be in a space where you can imagine something and actually make it happen and it become a real thing.
Nice.
So imagination, having a vision, is just like when you have, you know, a gift and you believe in yourself, right? And you have a purpose on your life, just being able for that to come to life and manifest is just a beautiful thing.
I love that. You said 13 years in at this point. Can you talk about something that you've learned on your entrepreneurial journey that you want to make sure, a piece of advice that you can give the people that are watching that you've learned?
Yeah. First things first is consistency. Authenticity, right? And when days are great, celebrate it. But when the days are not great, celebrate it too.
Wow.
Because the celebration is going to allow you to get back up and do it over and over again. And the only way you're going to do it is if you constantly speak life into yourself. When there's nobody clapping, when there's nobody purchasing, right?
Right.
You just get up every day and believe in what it is you're doing and just keep going. If I didn't do that for 13 years, I would have gave up a long time ago.
Yes, I love that. So I'm asking every guest on the carpet really quick, what tools or strategies or resources are you using to ensure that your imagination is your reality?
Well, as far as tools,
Oh, beautiful.
as far as tools, for sure social media, right? Social media, but I also leverage email marketing, SMS marketing, you know, things like that. Those are tools that I use on the back end just to stay consistent, you know, with staying connected to my audience.
I love that. Okay, so Jackie, let them know where they can follow you so that they can stay tuned for the things that you have coming up with Jackie M and purchase some nice handbags. Yes.
Yes.
I want this one today. Today.
So you guys can follow me at Jackie, JACQUEM, and you can also follow us at Babe Experience on Instagram.
Okay.
BABEXPERIENCE.
Yes. Make sure y'all follow. Stay tuned. We are still here at the Imagination Conference. Nene Hooks Network is bringing you more interviews and more coverage from the conference coming up next. So stay tuned.
Thanks.
I'm standing here with Rico. Talk to me about how you feeling today.
Feeling great. How you feeling?
Good. Rico is the founder of IHQ. Tell us a little bit about that.
IHQ is a broadcasting network. It's getting ready to launch for the culture. It's a platform that's free for the consumers to watch some of the hottest movies, sitcoms, TV shows, music videos, podcasts, pay-per-view concerts, live streaming. It's gonna be lit.
I love it. You are here being supportive today, but also getting the gems and things that you're dropping. Like, what kind of things are you hoping that other attendees are getting from this conference today?
Education is key.
Yeah.
Yep. Most education you can get.
I love that. I'm asking all of my red carpet guests who come talk to me, what are some tools and resources or strategies that you're using to ensure that your imagination is your reality?
Man, that's a good question. Tools I'm using. Studying a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just anything that comes to mind, I just read and study and pick up on it to see what the much I can learn from it.
Yeah, nice. All right, so y'all make sure, let them know where they can follow you, Rico, so that they can stay tuned for what you have going on with IHQ and other things.
At Real Rico Cola on Instagram and all other platforms.
Love it. All right, stay tuned. We have more coming up with the Imagination Conference and Nene Hooks Network. You don't want to miss it. So right now, I am standing here with Rob Malloy. Talk about how you're feeling about being here today.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. Platforms are important, and so I feel amazing.
That's good.
Just got off stage, talked about rich relationships. For me, I deal with a lot of dating after divorce, success after divorce is my brand. And so just being able to share experiences are so important so we can learn from each other.
Nice. Okay, can you talk about what things you do, what tools, what strategies you use to make your imagination your reality?
Yeah, first thing is to have a solid relationship with God, right? Because that's my guidance, you know? And so just going back to the basics, prayer and meditation, actually putting your goals on paper, writing the vision, and then executing it and making sure that you're keeping up with what you're supposed to be doing. And it's really, really the simple things like that. I don't feel like there's any secret sauce because everybody can do it. Who's going to put the effort? And so that's what I've learned that works for me, and I share it with everyone who's listening to me.
Right. So you just came off of the relationships panel.
Right.
And can you talk about what you're hoping that attendees have gained from that panel that you spoke on today?
Yeah. Two things that I mentioned that I thought was key. One of them is identity. I think that we have issues sometimes because we look at what everybody else is doing, different successes around us, and then we forget that we have goals that we've accomplished. Number one, that we have the ability to be here. Yeah. Right? And so finding identity, and then the second was alignment. And so with your relationship with your creator, you use that guidance. Alignment is going to be important because it's going to keep you on task. And it's also going to help you with discernment when people come into your circle. And that's a major thing right now.
Yes, it is. And I know you dropped a lot of gems during the panel, and you did just now. But can you share a piece of advice with our audience that you learned throughout your entrepreneurial journey that you want to make sure people who are just starting out should know?
Yeah. The first thing is to accept that you have your own journey. You know, again, we get caught up looking around and seeing other people's success. And sometimes we even try to mimic it and pivot when it's not our journey or a path.
Right.
So really staying focused and honing in and understanding that your journey, your path is going to be your story, your testimony, and to embrace that. And that is just so key because we have to learn. We talk about appreciating other people and learning from other people, but we really have to give ourselves some grace. Being able to do the things that we do on a regular basis, on a daily basis, is just a blessing within itself.
Yes.
Right? Every day we have a triumph that we can celebrate.
Yes.
So celebrate daily, stay on task, and make sure that you're aligned with your mission and purpose.
Love that. Rob, let them know where they can follow you because, like I always say, there's always more that you can learn from Mr. Rob Malloy. So let them know where they can follow you to stay tuned for those things.
Yes, it's your favorite Silver Fox, Rob Malloy. You can find me on all social media platforms. I am Rob Malloy. You can also check me out on my personal website. Everybody needs their personal website because you don't own the platforms. www.robmalloy.com.
Love it. All right. Y'all stay tuned. We have more coming up on the Nene Hooks Network here at the Imagination Conference.
Thank you for having me.
I'm standing here with Kim. Can you talk to me about how it feels to be a part of this event today that is geared toward transforming lives and financial futures?
Oh my goodness, I am so honored to be here today. When Chyna talked to me about her vision and how she just stepped out on faith doing this, look at how amazing it looks. And she planned this within 5 weeks.
I know. When she told me that, I was like, oh my goodness.
And it's just a true testament to like when you listen to God, when you make the decision, God gonna make the provision. He gonna have people, pouring into your vision, making sure that it's a success.
Yes, I love that. So I'm asking everybody that comes on the carpet today, what do you do? What tools, resources, or strategies are you using to ensure that your imagination is your reality?
Absolutely. So what tools am I using to make sure that my imagination, just using my imagination, dreaming big, realizing that, you know what, if I want to be a $1 billion event planner, I can do that because I do whatever I believe. So just really like training my mind to know that whatever I imagine, I can truly, bring it to fruition.
Right. So before I ask my next question, talk to me a little bit about your business.
So I teach women how to build party planning empires. So we help them figure out what their niche is, and then we help them create streams of income around it. So for myself, I started about 15 years ago, girl, doing parties for just $275 to now, being able to be around to work with like $1 million productions.
Nice.
So
nice. So what piece of advice can you give the people watching that you've learned throughout your entrepreneurial journey that you think that somebody else might need to know if they are thinking about taking the next step?
I would say believe in yourself, using that imagination, changing your circle, because once I started changing my circle and the people that I was hanging around, I started expecting more from myself, right? So you know how the goal is like, I want to make 6 figures, in a year, right? I started hanging around people who were making 6 figures in a day, and then I started making 6 figures in a day.
I love that. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Y'all stay tuned. You just spoke on a panel and it was great. You dropped some gems and everybody that was on the panel dropped gems. So let everybody know where they can follow you so they can stay tuned with what you have going on, because there's always more you can learn from Kim.
Thank you. So you can find me on Instagram at the letter E, the letter Z, the letter P, the letter Z. So EZPZ _ party planning on Instagram, as well as Facebook,
Love
YouTube. Easy peasy party planning.
Love it. All right, thank you so much. She's one of the best. Y'all heard that first from right here first. So y'all stay tuned. Nene Hooks Network, the Imagination Conference. We have so much more in store. Yes, you look so cute.
Thank you. You too.
So I'm standing here with Trellis Williams, also known as Lady Finance. Yes. How are you feeling about being here, part of this event that is geared towards reshaping lives and financial futures?
It's a blessing. It's amazing, a great experience. Me being a tax and financial coach as well as a business coach, and to participate in a faith and finance conference is simply God's divine connection.
Oh, I love that.
To be able to pour into people, but to speak to them from biblical principles about what God says about money, what he says about relationships, how to be rich in relationships, how to apply those things so that we can be abundant, so that we can have abundance, is everything. So I'm super excited to be here. I'm super honored to be receiving the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. Sometimes we don't stop and celebrate where we are. We're so busy going, so busy doing, so busy trying to complete the next to-do list that we don't take a moment to completely understand the impact that we've had. And so this is this moment for me. So thank you, Dr. Bethley, for nominating me, for thinking about me. And I'm super excited and grateful to be here.
Okay, and I love that. So I'm asking all of the guests that come on the carpet, talk about what tools, resources, or strategies you're utilizing to ensure your imagination is a reality.
So first of all, always keeping God first. Understanding that I must believe for whatever goals, dreams, desires that I have, I must first believe that I can achieve it.
I like it.
Being able to educate myself, making sure that I understand who I am, what I need to do, where do I need to educate myself and grow myself, and being able to connect with the people that can help me grow in those areas. But also not keeping my gift to myself. Everything that I have, my gifts, talents, and abilities, being able to share to build the kingdom.
I love it. I love it. And what is it that you hope that people who are here today and listen to the panels or in the audience get from this conference?
So from this conference, I want people to understand that you can achieve whatever you put your mind to. We heard a lot of stories shared today. there's a lot of adversity that we face when we're trying to continuously elevate. And so not being able to allow adversity to stop us, but understanding what we need so that we can be more powerful, which ultimately our source comes from God.
Yes, I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming to talk to me on the carpet today. Can you let people know where they can find you, where they can tune in to the things that you have
Absolutely. So I'm a people builder. I help people build in their personal finances, their business finances, and all things money. You guys can find me at www.lady-finance.com. That's lady-finance.com. Lady_finance on Instagram and Lady Finance on all social media platforms.
I love it. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. We're at the Imagination Conference. We have so much more in store. You don't want to miss it on Nene Hooks Network.